All right, so I forgot what I was saying, but that's just part of the course. Okay. All right, I have the mystery message and I got a few attempts at it, but like I said, I screwed up a little bit. Okay, Susan, you're muted. There you are. Okay, does anyone know Elaine? Elaine is, thought she was gonna come. Elaine Friedman, canyonback@hotmail.com. I don't know where that is. Maybe that's out west someplace. All right, so like, I apologize, I messed up a little bit on the message. I was tired by the time I got to the Hebrew, and you have to, I have a Hebrew English keyboard. You need to switch. It's not enough to hit escape. You have to hit Alt and something else, which I have a little card. And the spacing is different. When you hit the space bars, it goes nuts. Anyway, here's what it said. And there's no W. So I have to use a vav, a v. It sounds like Yiddish. Welcome to all our, and then I didn't put the resh. New
That's our
friends.
Yeah, that got me for a loop there. That
Welcome
our.
to all our new friends.
Mhm.
Oh,
Then it
that says
says
student. Wait. Doesn't that say
Friends.
student?
Friends.
Oh, friends. Okay.
Friends, welcome to
Yeah.
all our
Just
new
say.
friends.
Friends.
Now, here's where I messed up. I think I reversed the letters. It should be you, Yud and a Vav. You will, now there's no W, so I use the Vav and a Yud. It's like will. You will
Have
Fun.
fun learning
Hebrew.
together.
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 There's no TH.
Together.
Together. You will have fun learning together. That's the best I could do phonetically. And now this sounds like the one who says, I want to be alone. I
Want.
want. Who's the one that said? Greta Garbo. I want you to love. I want you to love. Sounds Russian. Love. Hebrew. As much
As
as I do. See you on Friday. Carol. Half Yiddish, half Russian, half gobbledygook.
Well, Carol, what
Yeah.
is the word after as? Let's see.
Much.
Oh, that's
As
much.
There's no ch. There's a
Yeah, so I
f.
just couldn't figure
There's
out.
a ts, but there's
Yeah.
no ch in Hebrew.
As much.
As much as
Carol,
I don't think this is easy to do. I'll read it again.
Since I
Okay.
missed last week, do you have
Welcome.
last week's message?
Last week's message. I do.
Welcome.
That was the number 3 one.
I did pretty well, I think.
I did terrible.
Oh, no.
Dear students. Wrong. I said, dear
That
students.
S doesn't look like an S.
Okay, the
like that.
third
So
one.
much fun teaching you. I feel like dear students for your proficiency. It's amazing. Affectionately, Carol. That was his.
Wow.
That's the one.
Proficiency.
That's the one.
Was that?
Very
You
good.
said I had something wrong.
Yep. Wait. Oh, I think this is the one. Hi, dear students. I am glad you
No,
are
not that one. No, that was
learning.
no, that was
No.
the second one.
Oh, the one with the word proficiency?
Yes.
Okay. Dear students, it has been so much fun
Teaching you.
teaching you.
Hi, Terry. I'm in
I
Hebrew school, so
feel
hold on.
like I feel like a
Proud.
proud Mama bear.
Mama bear.
Mama
Oh,
bear.
Mama Bear.
There. Oh.
Your proficiency
Proficiency
is
is
amazing.
amazing.
Okay, your proficiency is amazing. Affectionately, Carol. Okay, thank you.
Oh, boy. And you think it's easy decoding these things to do it. All right. So,
Okay, thank you.
as I said, we are going to go over the alphabet because some of you may have missed a class or two or whatever. And the key to everything in Hebrew, it's phonetic. It's the alphabet. That's it. The vowels and the letters. So I would like you to have in front of you, if you could, the page 67, whether you're using your book or the attachment I sent. 67, it says units 10 to 12, the names of the letters and the sequence. Now, to the new students, I sent you an email. I emailed you the whole book that we used last semester.
Oh,
And it
Shalom
forward.
Aleichem you're talking about, right?
Page 67.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has the alphabet.
Right.
I'm not doing it in order of the Shalom Aleichem first.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Okay, 67 has the alphabet.
Right.
Okay, so what I have set up, my old tape here, is Debbie Friedman doing the alphabet song. And what's fun is she has you repeat it. She did it at a place called the Dell. I don't know where that was. But
Wisconsin.
anyway, Wisconsin?
Wisconsin Dells, yeah.
Oh, the only Dell I know is a farmer in the Dell, in the deli. Okay, so I have it set to play. And remember, I am the technological genius of the century. And you can look at it or just listen and repeat when she says repeat. And this is really good. All right.
While we're here in Hebrew school, we're going to have some fun and sing the Hebrew alphabet, a song for everyone. It's going to be quite simple, because all you'll have to do
You hear it?
is sing the letters after us, then we'll sing after you. Aleph, bet, bet.
Aleph, bet, bet.
Gimel, dalet, hey.
Gimel, dalet, hey.
Zayin, bet, bet.
Zayin, zayin, bet, bet.
Yud, kaf, kaf.
Yud, kaf, kaf.
Nun, and nun.
Nun and nun.
Lamed, ayin, point, bet.
Lamed, ayin, bet, bet.
Tzadik, kuf, bet.
Tzadik,
Sing, let's learn the alphabet. Simple as it can be. You'll learn the alphabet if you sing the letters after me. Each letter has a name and a sound that it always makes. Now let's sing a special chorus. We'll have fun, it will not bore us. It's the alphabet. Aleph, bet, bet.
Aleph, bet, bet.
Gimel, dalet, hey.
Gimel, dalet, hey. Zayin, bet, bet. Yud, kaf, kaf. Lamed, ayin,
let's try it once again. Practice the alphabet. Each time we sing our song, the easier the letters get. Sing it first this time. Sing out loud, let us hear your voice. We will hear you getting better as you sing each Hebrew. It's the alphabet. You start it. Aleph, bet, bet. Gimel, dalet, hey. Each letter has a name and a sound it always makes. Together they're the alphabet, the alphabet. One
All right, so now that you may have learned in Hebrew school or somewhere along the way, but I love it. I think it's really cute. Now, if you have page 67, that was towards the end of the book, the Shalom Aleichem text, and it finally has all the letters in order. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look. Some of the teachers didn't give the names of the letters, but we have the names, but the names are written out in Hebrew. And you're going to tell me the sound. All right. So what's the sound that Aleph makes?
Ah,
Silence.
No sound. It's a
No
silent
sound.
letter.
Oh,
Silent.
Right.
excuse me.
No sound. That's a trick question. Sorry.
I fell for it.
Yeah. So what's the sound of the bet?
B.
Okay.
B, like a B, right? B, B. Good. How about Gimel?
G.
G.
Good. Dalet. Is there something, a relationship that you're discovering about the names of the letters and the sounds of the letters?
Yeah.
What's the relationship?
The
They're the
initial
same.
consonant
First
or-
letters, the
First
second.
letter in English.
Yeah, good.
Oh, well, the first letter of the
The
names
first sound.
is
The
the
sound.
letter, like Aleph begins with the letter Aleph, and the word bet begins with a bet and Gimel. And the names of the letters are the sounds, except for Aleph, which is silent. But when I say the letter bet, it's the sound of B. And when I say the letter Gimel, the name of the letter gives the sound, G.
Oh.
And all the way through. Dalet
Ein.
gives a D sound, right? And
I-
hey,
Huh.
hey is an H sound, and it goes all the way down. Okay, so what about, so hey has what sound?
Ha.
Huh, like an
Right,
H.
H.
And Vav?
What?
But
V.
Bob is a tricky one. It could also be an O sound.
Correct.
Or
The
a new one.
Vav,
No, O,
when
letter.
it's used as a letter, when it's used as a letter and a vowel, under it or alongside of it, it's a letter. And when it has a dot above, remember, oh my head, or oh my stomach,
Right.
or e my feet, then it's a vowel. And then we learned something new last week, if you weren't here, that when a vav is in front of a word, it's a prefix. You're shaking your head, and it has a special meaning. If I say Sivia the Susan, what does this the mean?
And
And if I say At the Ani, it means you and
me.
I.
Me.
You and me.
Uh,
All right. And the point is that it's attached. It's like you and me. Okay? Sivia and Chana. Okay? So it is a prefix. And prefixes in Hebrew are little attachments. It's like a kite. You attach that little piece to the word. Likewise, we have a lot of suffixes, and the suffix is attached at the end of a word. So you're going to see a lot of that, like in mi kamocha. So who is like you? The cha at the end means you. That has a prefix and a suffix. Mi kamocha. It's ka. No, yeah, is like, and the cha is you. So it could be at the beginning or the end of a word, and it's just written together. That's a prefix and a suffix. Okay,
So,
Zion has a sound of.
So when
Yeah.
you're reading, because that's the problem I get to without the vowels, like when you type the secret messages, how do you know it's, so if it's in the middle of a word, it's going to be an O or an U, and if it's at the beginning, it's going to be a V.
And
If it's at the beginning, it's a verb.
Call from wireless caller.
If it's in the middle, it could be a vav or it could be a vowel.
Okay. Because like
Remember
all your
this,
secret messages,
the
you don't
letters-
know, vowels, you don't know. There's no dots.
Right, exactly. So it's more difficult with my little secret message. Every
The Torah.
consonant has a dancing partner. The consonants have a partner, the vowel. The
Okay.
consonants have, there's partners. A consonant and a vowel go together.
Okay.
So if you see a vav in the middle of the word and it doesn't have any dots. Well, if it does have dots, it's a vowel. And usually if it doesn't, it's going to be a letter and there'll be something under it or above it.
Carol, the hardest thing for me is reading Hebrew with no vowels, no dots.
Thank you.
That's,
Yeah, yeah.
that's hard for anybody. That would come in a skill as a Torah reader.
Right.
When you read, you have a book called the Tikkun. So if I prepare for Torah reading, the Tikkun on one side has it written out the way it looks in the Chumash, in a book, with the vowels and the trope. And on the other side, it's cold turkey. It's every man for himself. It's a facsimile of the Torah scroll. In other words, there's no trope marks. There are no vowels. So you have to go line by line when you're reading a Torah reading, and you have to make sure you know what the word is. Okay. And my amazement is like people who can wing it. And that would probably be Israelis, probably be an Israeli whose native language is Hebrew and is used to seeing signs and everything without vowels. So they could probably do that. But imagine reading English. Not for beginners.
No.
So once you get proficient in reading Hebrew and then you learn the chanting, the melody, you have to put all that together. And it's not easy. And even though I've done it for years, it'll take me days and hours and hours and hours because I'm almost memorizing. In fact, the rabbi said, and then if you have different Torahs, the calligraphy is different.
Yes.
Oh,
Different Torahs, depends on who the sofer was, have different handwritings. So some letters are more pointy, some are rounded. Sometimes it's stretched out, the word. So the rabbi said to me, I went to the synagogue and I heard you could take the Sefer Torah out, like on a Thursday or whatever, come to the synagogue, open the ark. And if you open the Torah, you have to read a little bit from it. So open the ark. He said you could take a photo with your phone. I go, you can. So that I could then take that home and practice from the phone. Because when you practice, and then you get to a Torah, which is different than your Tikkun, the words are in different spots. And your eye is trained to see a particular word in a place. It's a visual recognition. So if you actually see what Torah you're going to use and you take a picture of it, it makes it easier. Oh, look, it's not an easy task.
When I did my
It
bat
really is.
mitzvah at 50, a few years back, and they allowed us to come, each person, and actually, like you say, in the middle of the week, they take out the Torah at your spot and you practiced it
Right.
from the Torah you were going to use. So exactly why you say. You're right.
Right, because now you know where the words are in the parchment.
Yeah.
You know where they are. So yeah, that really works. I'm having trouble here. But you get used to it, even if I have a short Torah reading, I am practicing until I almost know it by heart. So
I heard
don't know
that
how
this
people do.
week's
We have
portion
a
is the
woman.
shortest. I'm sorry.
The Yitro? Yitro?
It is.
I heard it's the shortest. So
Oh,
if you're going to do your first one, this is the week to do it.
Yeah, the first one is good to do on a Saturday night, actually. Do it on a Saturday night. It's the first aliyah broken up into 3 pieces. And if the first aliyah isn't long, then each reading might just be 3 or 4 lines. So that's when you want to do the first one.
Saturday
I can't
night?
get this off the screen. Helene. Yeah, they read from the Torah Saturday night.
Oh,
okay. So
after sunset?
that would be like sometimes they have a bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah of somebody who's Yeah, you can do it.
Oh, you mean Saturday before the sun goes down on Shabbat, but late in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Mariv.
Before Havdalah, a Mariv,
Okay,
you read.
Okay,
And that's
interesting.
good for practice. Yeah. So the Torah during the week is read on
Mondays and Thursdays.
Monday, Thursday,
Mhm.
Mondays and Thursdays. So those morning minions, which may usually be at 6:30 or 7, are going to be like a half an hour earlier. And a bar mitzvah, they'll study, for the reading, because it's going to be the same reading as Saturday morning. So they'll go on Thursday and they'll practice, All right, so here we have the letters. We got up to Zion. What's the sound of a chet? Chet.
K-H.
CH, but it's not ch, it's a ch. It's that phlegmy sound when you're, right? Ch. How about the tet? Tet?
T.
Yeah. A yud,
Yeah.
like a Y, right?
The why.
Kaf.
Half.
Kaf.
K or ch.
K. All right, now, here is its companions. That's why I say there's not just 22 letters. If you look over in the next line, it shows you chaf. So chet and chaf have the same sound. So now you're going to say to me, why do you need 2 letters with the same sound? And that's for spelling purposes, because different words are spelled differently. How come my name is not spelled? I think the Russian version of my name would be like Carol, K-A-R-O-L, and mine is C-A-R-O-L. They both have the K sound, K and a C.
I have a question.
So that, yep.
Someone in one of my synagogues, because I belong to 2, said, and she recently converted, so her knowledge is fairly recent, that the ch is KH and the chet, I'd said wrong. The chaf is KH and the chet is CH. And I hate transliteration anyway, but is she right?
The kaf is K. It's not a Ch. Kaf
No, I
with the
meant the-
dot is a K.
Half.
I meant the
chaf.
one without the dot. Yeah,
Without the dot. Without the dot is a Ch. It's the
Huh.
same sound as a chet. It's
They're
a
both
Ch
a
sound.
H sound.
All right, Sue,
Both have the same sound.
transliteration.
yes.
Okay, transliteration. There are tons of Hanukkah cards that say the
With an H,
the
right?
ancient question that hasn't been
Look.
answered is how to spell
Yeah,
Hanukkah. So that's how she was taught. But
That's how she was taught.
Because an
Yeah, but-
American can't say Ch.
No, it was like there was
Huh.
CH and
No,
KH.
yeah,
It made no
no.
sense to me.
Both
It made no
huh.
sense.
There's no.
Okay, I'll just
The
tell her my
KH
teacher
is
said
like
she's wrong.
Ch.
no, she's not wrong.
Probably.
Huh.
It's a waste
Think
of
about it.
time.
A KH, a Ch is maybe the closest you can get, because someone sees CH in English and they think Ch.
Cha.
And so they would say, Happy Chanukah.
In
I've
Hadassah
seen
magazine,
I've
they
seen
put an H
Hanukkah with a dot under the H
or a line.
Yes.
or a line.
Some
So the
books will have a
transliteration
dot.
is transliteration's up to
It throws you off.
I hate transliteration.
Transliteration is difficult. Yeah. All right, now,
The best one,
here
the
is
best
a
one I've
letter.
heard is
Kaf.
Rug- the best one I heard was in the bakery, someone asking for ruglach.
As long as it's tasting good, who cares?
Yeah, right.
Well,
Paula,
Yeah.
my
Chocolate
husband wanted to have horse Dorvers.
Better than horse over.
This is 55, 60 years ago, but horse Dorvers, So transliterations are
have-
always dreadful.
A problem.
But
So we have a cup.
Miss Carol,
Here is a letter that has,
Carol?
it's a troika. Yeah,
Miss Carol, there are
Yes.
some letters that used to have different sounds. And it depends on if you're Ashkenazic or
Right.
Sephardic.
Ashkenazi versus Sephardic.
Sephardic, yeah.
that would be
So-
the Sav and the Tav, the one with the dot. You say, instead of Shabbos, we say Shabbat in Sephardic.
And the
Hebrew, which is what
vowels
we're
too.
teaching.
Yes.
Yes. the
But we don't
or
have
and
to
the
go into that.
No.
No, we already did go into that. We did. We went into that. All right.
I'm late
So
to the
here is-
party.
No, you're welcome to the party. So the kaf, the chaf, and the final chaf. Now, it's not enough of a problem as we have one with a dot. Then we have a partner without a dot. And now we have a daddy long legs. We have the long one, as in the word baruch. So we still have a ch, but it's only at the end, right? The baruch. So we have a k and a ch and a final chaf.
Yeah.
Now, in Hebrew, next to the final chaf, they have the word that I've been using on and off. It says chaf sofit. And I always used to tell my students, sow your own feet. So the word sofit means final.
I know.
So if someone is an Israeli and they hear me say, I'm going to spell the word Baruch, Bet, Resh, Vav, Chaf Sofit, Baruch. Okay? And it can only be at the end. That's why it's final. That's the final letter. The last letter in a word can be a final chaf. You cannot use a regular chaf at the end of a word. It has to be long like that. Next guy is Lamed, has a sound of what?
L.
Like an L. That's
Can I go back
straightforward.
to the final chaf? Chaf sofit.
Absolutely.
You can also have a vowel.
Oh,
on
look at
that.
you, Chaf Sofit.
Oh, you can have a vowel attached to that too, so that it goes cha.
Right.
It,
Right,
there could be
okay.
a vowel
And that's
attached
in,
to the final letter, sofit.
Was
how about V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha. There's a lot of spinning going on,
That's at the final
okay?
chaf. but it has-
Visharecha and your gates. So absolutely. All right, and that cha on the end means your gates and your heart, levavcha,
So it's not
nafshecha,
a
your
vowel, it's
nefesh, your
Sofit.
soul.
It's
Okay,
not
so the
Sofit.
cha is a chaf sofit. You got it perfect. Chaf sofit.
Oh, it is a Sofit.
Yeah,
It is, absolutely.
Oh.
Chaf.
a vowel with it.
it's a
Oh.
consonant.
Is that the
Sofit.
only vowel, I'm sorry, the only
Okay,
sofit that takes a vowel?
Yeah.
let me think. Sofits.
Like the mem or the nun or
Yeah,
the
I'm thinking.
Sadi.
sadi or the,
No,
I
no.
think it's-
Mem could be mimcha.
Yeah,
No, mem.
No, that's the
Mimcha.
wrong
No,
end of the
no,
word.
you can
Wrong
have it
end
with
of the word.
others. It's not the only one.
okay,
Ma.
that, fine,
Yeah.
thank you.
You can.
We'll
have it.
find an example.
So you have a group of three there. Kaf, chaf, final chaf. Okay, the
Final.
lamed is straightforward like a lamed, like an L. Mem. Again,
Mem.
mem has a mem
Mem
sofit,
sofit.
as in the word shalom, shalom, mayim, right? Those words have a final mem.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's, all
Think we're up to
right,
noon,
so we
noon,
got to
Nun.
noon,
pay,
and
let me
Sama.
see, all right, no, we want nun. Here's
Nun.
another one with a final.
That.
Nun is an N sound, and then the long one. Usually they're the long letters that are the finals.
the only one that
Okay.
isn't is the mem.
Yeah, so you have nun and a final nun so feet. So's your own feet. There it is. And you know, I dealt with seventh graders, and the only way to preserve your sanity is to fight back. A lot of the times, the humor that I had was right over their head, and they left scratching their heads, but I had to be ahead of them, always ahead of them a little bit. Okay, so now, what is the sound of the samach?
Miss Carol,
That's the same as the sin.
Okay,
Sin,
so
yeah.
we have two letters that have a S sound. This is a samach, and it's just like an S.
Miss Carol,
Okay. Yeah.
could I interrupt, please? I sent Sue the
Absolutely.
text
Oh,
email.
thank you. I'll look for it.
Either.
Thank you.
Who's that? What happened?
Charlene.
No, I
I'm
got it.
here.
Yeah,
I got it. Thank you.
Charlene.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm here, Carol.
The- What?
Oh, thank you very much.
Carol, I have a question about the
Who sent
alphabet.
you? Who sent what? I missed something.
Marcia
sent me
sent Sue the Shalom Aleichem. Marcia Fleming
good.
sends Sue Grossman the
Thank you.
attachment.
I got it.
Very good.
I will
Very
print
good.
it
Carol
out
Fisher.
for next week. Thank you. Sorry to
good.
take the
Carol-
time on that.
Carol, on the, you sent us a paper, an attachment. It says the Hebrew alphabet. And on that Hebrew alphabet, I'm looking at both the book and that paper. And on that paper you sent us, it shows a final cough.
Okay,
A
it's
cough
called the
and a
final
cough.
cough.
What's that?
Okay, so the letter is, when you're saying the alphabet, what we just said, the letter is kaf,
Yeah.
but its partner is chaf. And the second partner is a chaf sofit, is the final chaf.
Right, but this
That
paper shows a
alphabet
final
Julia
cough.
sent in the beginning,
Yeah,
it's called the final chaf.
it has
Because it
both.
has a ch sound, not a k sound.
No, it has both. It has a final chaf and it has a final cough with a dot in it.
Rarely.
Oh,
No,
That is rare.
it's.
You'll
it's-
find that once in a while. It's very rare.
it-
Okay.
You
I,
don't, you won't see that a
I
lot.
think it means there's a vowel. I think it's,
No,
I
it's a
think that's
final
what-
cough.
There is, yes, it does exist, but it's not common.
Okay, that's
It's
why
not
they didn't
common.
put it in the book. then.
Carol, you're referencing this that was sent way back?
Yeah,
That was sent in the very beginning. Julia
Yeah.
sent that actually, I think.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So most of the time it's a final chaf, but it could also have a dot, and there are words that have, it's a final chaf.
Okay,
And if I have time, I'll look for some and I will get back to you on that. I'll show you some examples. All right, so we have now, tell me something special about the ayin.
It's silent.
Island.
Silence.
Silent. Yeah. Maybe I should have in my Hebrew class, I don't know where I should have just yelled out Aleph. Or I should have yelled out
Ayin.
ayin instead of yelling sheket like a crazy person. Sheket b'vakasha, all the way down in Hebrew school, you hear teachers yelling, sheket b'vakasha. Okay. All right, so ayin is silent. And at one time, it had a sound, something like, oh. It had a guttural, a real guttural, that kind of a throaty sound that Yemenites can pronounce. Yemenites can pronounce that. I can't.
Oh,
That was as close as I
yeah.
could get.
It's called the glottal stop. It's very, very common in like North African dialects and in African
Did you
dialects.
ever hear of Miriam Makeba? Miriam
Yeah.
Makeba was an African folk singer, and she used to have that, that
It's a
stop.
yeah, it's actually
Right?
part of their language, other languages.
Yeah, yeah,
That's my anthropology
Always
major coming
silent,
out.
Even at the beginning of
yeah,
a-
and my phonetics,
Yeah.
and I had a phonetics class and they had that. All right, so we have after the ayin, you have the pay. And remember, pay has the point.
hey,
Pay has a point. It has a dot in it.
Somebody in our
So
class said
that's
it's
a
a face
puff.
with a pimple. So it's supposed to be
That's
a
very
fay,
gross.
it's a pay,
Panim,
it's a
panim
face
in
with a
space.
pimple in it.
And it's the word for face too, panim.
Panim,
Panim.
right, panim yafot.
Punim.
You
Punim
say
is
panim
the-
Punim with
yafot,
a
it means
pimple.
pretty face. Punim,
page,
oy,
please.
what a nice punim.
Aziz
Yiddish
Hashem
grandmothers are
Punim.
always like, always by the cheek, you grab you,
Pinch your
ay,
cheek,
what
yeah.
a shame punim. So pay, and then Faye, like our darling Faye. And then there's a final Faye. Faye so feet. So's your own feet. Faye so feet. And it's long, like the final chaf and the final nun. There's the final Faye. And as someone said, only the mem is not final. The final mem is not long.
Wow.
So
I have to, excuse me,
Son,
this
Hmm?
sheet doesn't have pay and pay.
Can you hold that up
sheet?
slowly and just hold it and hold
yeah,
still?
which one?
Oh,
They
okay.
have
Oh.
pay and pay. It's on the side.
see it.
Look on the side.
Yeah.
Look to the left. They have the pay and the fay.
Yeah, they had the pay and the, yeah,
The
they had the pay. the-
It's to the left.
They had the pay, the
They
fay, and
have
the
all the
fi- and
final
the- and
letters.
We
the-
have the pay and the fay on the
Fay.
same line.
Ah,
On the
okay.
same line.
Well,
Got
it's
it?
pay,
Line.
yeah. And the final.
Pay, fay,
the
final fay.
fay.
Right.
So now, Sadi, as in my Hebrew name, Tzipora, is like a TZ or a TS.
What's-
When I spell out my Hebrew name in English, I use TZ. Tz.
And I would
And my
also, wouldn't
Yiddish
I,
name is
Carol? Sivia
Cyril.
would have a TZ?
Hmm?
Sivia would have a
Sivia,
TZ also.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Tzipora, Sivia, Cyril. I signed up for Tuesday is the Women's League study day, Yom Yun. And they said, I don't know why, they said, what's your name? And I put my name. And then they said, what's your Hebrew name? And I'm wondering, are they going to give me an Aliyah on the Zoom? So I put Cyril, Dina, Bat, Henach, Miriam. Why do they need to know my Hebrew name? Okay, that's my Yiddish name, Cyril. Okay, so it's Sadi is a TZ, and you have the final Tzadi, Tzadi Sofit, like in the word Eitz Chaim He, it's a tree of life, right?
Mhm.
Borei Pri Ha'etz, blessed is the fruit of the tree. All right. Now the Kuf. So what other letter sounds like a Kuf? Robin, help us out. What other letter sounds like a Kuf? Where's another K?
Kaf.
Kaf. Perfect. The Kaf and the Kuf have exactly the same sound. Okay. What other letter sounds like the Chet? Kaf.
Sorry.
Aye.
Okay. They have the same sound. Chaf. Right. Chet and Chaf. Okay. We have Kuf and Kaf, which means palm. And there's the Kuf. All right. Now we have a Resh, like a regular R sound. Okay. I said to students, I tell them, learn to spell, learn to recognize the word Shalom. Shalom has a shin. The shin has a dot on the right. And then I taught you there's a letter sin. Well, the sin has a dot on the left. And I said, it's a sin to have a dot on the left. Okay, it's a sin to have a dot on the left. I'm sorry, the letter sin, but it's a sin to have a dot on the left. That's what I taught my kids. Sin. So we have shin and sin. And shin, shinayim, shin. Here's from the Bible. I think it's from Parsha Mishpatim. Ayin, tachat ayin, shin, tachat shin. An eye for an eye, Babylonian code. An eye for an eye, pum, and a tooth for a tooth. If you were in a fight with me and you knocked my tooth out, so it would have been, they knock your tooth out. If you hurt my eye so that I can't see, they would damage your eye. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. It comes from Parsha Mishpatim, which means laws. And that's what led in the Torah to workman's compensation. That is in the Torah. No, it is. It really is. It's workman's compensation. If you cause me so that I can't use my arm, and I'm a bricklayer or I'm a construction person, you have to figure out how much a day would you lose in salary, and you would compensate that person's loss of work. It really is. If you read, there's the laws of workman's compensation. It's really interesting. Okay, so shin and sin. Sin has a dot on the left. It's a sin to have a dot on the left. And then what Helene Chana was saying, not Sivia, you have tav. And here on this chart, they say tav. They don't even call it sav. They don't want you to get confused. But some still say Shabbos, but it's spelled with a tav at the end. Because there was the letter in Eastern Europe, tav and sav. Okay. I tried to follow as a Gabbai Rishon the Torah reading of one of our older members, and he would always pronounce the tav with the dot like an S, and it was really hard to follow his reading. So there we have the letters, and you can practice with the Aleph Bet Bet. Now I want to take the paper that we started with, Shalom Aleichem. I sent you that. And Shalom Aleichem. Where do we find, when do we use Shalom Aleichem?
Friday
When do we
night.
chant it?
Friday
Friday.
night.
Friday
Tonight.
night.
Friday night.
Okay. So there's different melodies, but the traditional one is da 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 da. And last week, I played for you that video with Helene's help. Press this, get to the desktop. How do I do that? But anyway, we got it with Cantor Rosenfeld, Rozenfeld, has a beautiful voice. She does it really slowly. I really like her chanting, and she did the Kiddush. She did first Shalom Aleichem for us, and then the Kiddush. It's on YouTube. Her name is Elana, Elana Rosenfeld, and I think that she's a great one to listen to and to follow. So Shalom Aleichem. What does Shalom Aleichem mean? If you meet someone in the street, you're in Israel, you say Shalom Aleichem, Chaimi.
Yes, hello.
Peace be with you.
Right. And the traditional way to answer that is reverse the words.
Aleichem shalom.
Alechem shalom. Upon you be peace. Shalom Aleichem, peace be unto you be peace. Shalom Aleichem, Alechem shalom. Which is just one of the really nice things in Hebrew. I mean, it's just, I don't know, I just think that's very beautiful what they do that. That's like a call and response kind of thing. It's really nice. So we've been practicing Shalom Aleichem. I must say we haven't gotten to Shalom Aleichem Nirvana, where we're all singing in sync. It was like 12 different tracks at once, but it is very nice. We'll have to learn to do that, and then we can go and we can make a YouTube video. But right now we were not up to that point. But we learned a little at a time in the book that we had, the Rabbi Noah Galinkin book, and he led us through the letters a little at a time, and he introduced the vowels so we could have keywords that were from this song. That was the first prayer target we had. We had enough letters and we had enough vowels to be able to finally read the whole prayer. And as I pointed out, this was a great one to start with. Does anyone know why it's a great one to start with? Take a look at line
You have a lot of,
2,
there's a lot of
4,
repetition.
6, and 8.
Carol, there's a lot of repetition of the lines.
So
in there.
line
Repetition. Yeah, repetition.
There's a lot of repetition. Line 2,
Right.
4, 6, and 8.
Right.
Okay, are, it's every identical tentacle. They're alike.
Yeah.
Mi melech, malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. That's line 2. Look at line 4. Mi melech, malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. And line 6, exactly the same. And line 8. So once you learn line 2, now you have the second line of all of these, of all the stanzas. So now I want to go over this because in this we have the vowels too. So Helene, can you read line 1?
Sure. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Hasharet Malachei Elyon.
Perfect. Now let's compare line 1 with line 2. So peace be with you. Okay, ministering angels, angels from high, from the King of Kings, the Holy King, blessed be he. Now look at line 3. Okay. And I want you to tell me what part of line 3 is like line 1. How many words on line 3 are like line 1?
The last two
Four.
words.
Last four.
Shalom.
The last
Four.
4.
The last four.
So then,
Shalom.
if we've learned on line 1 and 2, if we've learned how to read line 1, and we learn how to read line 2, even though it looks like a lot of text, when we get to line 3, the only new thing between line 3 and 4, the difference between 1 and 2 are the first 2
Boachem.
words. Boachem. Okay, Boachem, come peacefully. Boachem l'shalom, come, Bo.
Mm, mm.
And when we look at the next stanza on 5 and 6, well, if we've learned line 1 and 2, again, the last 4 words on line 5 are the same as the last 4 on 1.
Malachi Hashem.
Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, same. And line 6 is the same as line 2. Mimelech, Malachi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The only new thing are the first 2 words on line 5. Jody, could you read the first 2 words on line 5?
Sorry, okay. Barhuni. Sorry. Leshalom. Barhuni leshalom.
Okay. Barchuni l'shalom. Barchuni l'shalom. So those 2 are that's the only thing that's new in those 2 lines. It looks like a lot of Hebrew. It looks like a whole bunch of words. It's not. That's why this is a great one to start with. Now let's go down to line 7 and 8. Well, we know that the line 7, the last 4 words are the same as the last 4 words on line 6, right? Seitem l'shalom, malchei, oh, well, that's a little bit different. Malchei hamlachim. Yeah, that's a little different.
Malachi.
No. No, I was looking at the wrong thing. No, it's the same.
Malchei.
Yeah, Malchei, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Malchei
It's the
Shalom.
same as
Exactly.
I was looking at line 2.
Eloi.
It's the same as line 1.
Yeah.
Malchei Shalom, Malchei Elyon.
Malchei Elyon.
But the only
Okay.
difference is the first one. First
The
word.
first 2 words.
Yeah.
And not even 2, because in line
Just
5
the
we
first
had
word.
Barchuni l'shalom.
Shalom.
So now the only thing that's new is the first word on line 7. That's the only thing in those 2 lines. And Susan, how would you pronounce line 7?
You're talking to me?
Susan,
Susan, okay.
you're my only Susan here, right?
Oh, right, the other
Sue
one is
Grossman.
Sue.
I
Oh, the
changed my
word
name
that I
to
know-
Sue for you, Susan.
Okay, the first one in line 7, Zayhem.
Right, but try to get the tz.
Right, the one
Zayhem.
that's Zay.
Zayhem. Okay, so now we see that there's a tremendous amount of repetition. And is there anyone who's a really good singer here? Helene?
I am.
Would you like to sing this a line at a time, slowly, and we can have the chorus sing after you?
I'll do my best.
I'm sure you will.
Shalom Alechem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon.
Just do the whole thing. Do the whole thing, and then we'll go back. You sing beautifully.
Mi melech malchei amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Line 3.
Boachem l'shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi melech malchei amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Line 5.
Barchuni l'shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon.
Line 6.
Mi melech malchei amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
7.
Tekem leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech nachei amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
Okay.
Are you
Very good.
professionally trained?
I used to sing.
Hannah, are you trained professionally?
I used to sing a lot, but I don't sing. No, I'm not professionally trained.
You have a
Beautiful
gorgeous
voice.
voice.
I'm a family
Thank
of
you. That was
singers.
wonderful.
Thank you. It was wonderful.
Wonderful.
For me. Thank you for letting me.
Oh, well, we're gonna call on you again. So now let's make sure that we can all read Shalom Aleichem, okay? Because it does not have all the letters of the alphabet, because at this point we were still in the beginning of the semester. And as we go along on those review sheets that I gave you, we're going to use. But I want to skip, if you could, I have the brachot shel Shabbat. So I will, because I want you to be able to use this tonight, and then we'll end because it's almost 2 and some of you said you have things to do. So the sheet that looks like this with the Hebrew on it, it's the blessings. It's a blessing on the candles, blessing on the wine, and blessing, well, the simple blessing on wine, just the beginning, and the blessing on the machala, on bread. So I want you guys to be able to read it. Okay, I found this in one book and I kind of pieced this together so that you have the Hebrew and the English. And I would like to have somebody volunteer to read line 1. Joan, how was your Hebrew on the blessing for the candles? Can you read line 1?
Think so. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
All right, let's all do that together slowly. Achat, shtaim, shalosh. 1, 2, 3. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu
Melech
haolam asher
Kiddushanu
b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu li ner shel Shabbat. Good. I would like someone to volunteer who hasn't had a chance to speak today. Charlene?
Yeah.
Would you like to do the simple blessing on wine? Go ahead, go for it.
Sure. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
Amen.
Now, tell me something.
the wine.
Are you reading it or are you doing it from memory? Can you read it?
Yeah,
Good.
I can read it.
Yeah. All right, let's see. I have to go to the other screen and see. Marcia,
Yes,
how you doing?
I'm
Can
doing
you do the blessing for challah? Can
Yes.
you read it?
yes.
Go for it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. All right.
Amen.
Now let's go through the Shalom. Let's go back to Shalom Aleichem, and then next week we're gonna we'll review a little bit each time, but we will start going into some new stuff to get everybody. The main thing in the beginning is to make everybody comfortable with all the sounds of the letters and the vowels. So we'll do a little review. We didn't do the last week. We did the samach and we did the het. That's why I sent it to you. And we had done the Zion and the Sin. I'll go over the last couple of letters with some actual practice pages next week. We'll start with that. Well, let's see if we can read together Shalom Aleichem. Just read it. Let's sing it. Let's see if we can stay together. And who would like to be, Ella, do you want to be the pacemaker? You want to be the coxswain? The one who keeps the pace? That's what it's called in
rowing.
In rowing. Yeah, you want to be the one that keeps the pace?
Sure, why not?
By the way, there's a fabulous book called The Boys in the Boat.
Oh,
It's
I've heard
big,
about
but it's a
that.
fabulous book.
Very good.
It's a wonderful book. It's wonderful. It takes a long time to read. It's about 900 pages, but it's really an amazing story. It's about the Olympics when they went to Munich and they won. And you know that in the beginning, but it's how they get there and how they form a team. Like we are a team. We form a team. Okay, so who's going to be my Sue? How's your Hebrew? Can you read Shalom
Good.
Sue Grossman?
Yeah, it's good. This
Oh,
is
good.
I mean,
Good for
I'm not
gold.
saying I'm past
Okay.
the class, but you want me to be the coxswain or whatever you call it?
I
metronome.
do. I want you
So-
to read. I want you to read a line at a time, and we'll go after you. A line at a time, so we won't
Okay,
get lost in the
slowly or-
forest.
Slowly, right?
Slowly,
Slowly. Shalom Aleichem.
not
Malachi.
too slowly.
Okay, how's this pace? Shalom Aleichem Malachi Hasharet Malachi Elyon.
How come you have an Israeli accent?
I don't know. I'm
You have
really
an Israeli
blessed.
accent.
I'm really blessed.
How come you
Isn't
have
that
it?
a good thing?
You have-
And I
Yeah.
learned in LA.
All right,
you
everybody,
know?
line one.
Very authentic.
Okay, should I do it
Okay,
again?
let's go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Alechem.
Elyon.
Elyon.
You
I
did
call this
not stay
cacophony. I love
together.
it. It's
On-
impossible.
on-
on
on-
Ella.
On
All
Zoom,
right,
there's
so
a
here's what we're gonna
delay.
do. Sue, you're gonna do the line, the whole line, and then Ella keep pace with Ella. All right, try to stay together. Make believe you're in a girls' chorus.
Sue
And
and,
I'm a
Sue and
nasty
me.
teacher.
Sue and me, or what? How?
No, she's gonna do the first line, and then the whole class is gonna do the first line. They're gonna follow it,
Okay.
number one, and then they're gonna go back, but you're gonna keep the pace on the same
Okay.
line.
Okay.
Okay, got it? Let's try this.
So
And
which
I
line
will
are we
be
starting
quiet.
with
I will
now? The
listen.
second line?
Back. Okay, let's start with second line.
Yeah, okay.
Sue.
Mi melech malachi hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu.
Me, Mellow.
I just want to say, wait.
Did I
I want to
goof?
say
Did
one
I
thing.
goof?
Well, Helene Herman has been keeping up with the schwa. She's been making me crazy. Is this a
Oh.
silent schwa? Is this a sounded schwa? So, Helene, look at line 4, Helene Herman.
Line 4.
How would you pronounce the second word after mi melech?
Malachi.
Oh, I goofed.
Malachi.
I'm sorry.
So
Malachi.
that mal,
I went from
hey,
memory.
Is that
it's the
Malachi
end
or
of the
Malachi?
syllable, so it's malche.
Malachi.
Not
made a
malachi.
mistake.
Mal
Schwa
is
is
the end of the
silent.
syllable.
Right? The
I
schwa is
didn't read
silent.
it. I
Now-
went from memory. I cheated.
Stu Grossman, as I mentioned to Helene, who was driving me crazy with the schwa.
Still am.
When we're singing, still is, when we're singing, a lot of people will say mi melech malache instead of malche, but
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
be'emet, the real way grammatically would be malche.
Yeah.
Malachi. No.
Malche.
Do I get a second chance?
No.
You get many second chances. There's no failure in this class. We don't know that word. Doesn't not exist.
Okay.
N'existe pas.
Malke.
Okay, now Ella and company, everyone is gonna do line 4. Let's do it
Okay.
together. One,
Line 2 or line
three.
4?
And line
We're
two, line
on
two.
line 3. That was 2.
Line 2.
Me,
was
I'm
line
crazy
Mela,
already.
Mela,
Email.
Mela,
A,
Malche,
A,
Hago.
You remember what the Tower of Babel story was about?
The issue is Zoom. On Zoom, when you see people
Yeah.
doing a
Zoom.
chorus, they're recording that individually and then they're piecing it together because of people's different connections on Zoom, you have a lapse.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna get an automatic cacophony. You know, they do it during services too. Hey, the same thing. It's like a
It's
mess. so.
beautiful.
So just to make everybody feel better,
You're being kind, Helene.
well, just to make
No,
everybody
that's
Right,
feel
now,
better, this is
back
being
to
recorded.
Sue. All right, it's okay. We can
We're fine.
record this. This could be a comedy video. Line 3, Sue.
Boachem leshalom mal ache hashalom mal ache el yon.
Very good.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
We
So,
do sing it differently.
maybe we
We
should-
do sing it differently.
For
Yeah. When you sing it, right? Because
some-
you put in an extra syllable when you're singing
El
it.
Elyon.
Nobody
El
says
Elyon.
malche, it's malache. But we're learning MS here. We're learning the real thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amen, amen, amen.
All right. And then, so line 4 we did, okay, do line 5, Sue.
Barhuni leshalom mal ache hashalom mal ache el yon.
And now do line 7.
God, this is like a challenge. This is great. Zetchem leshalom malache hashalom malache, mal ache, I'm trying to really be careful, el yon.
Excellent. Where did you learn Hebrew?
I learned
Sue.
Hebrew growing up in LA, but I have friends and family in Israel, so I guess it rubbed off a little bit because I
I
hear
can
it
hear
a
it.
lot,
I
but I
can
don't
hear that.
understand it.
Yeah.
So
It's
how do
really
you,
frustrating. I
so
don't
how do you do the
understand it.
resh?
All right.
How do you do a resh? Do you roll the R? Do you do haresh? Or do you do resh?
Reish.
No,
Reish.
I'm more the reish. It's
Okay.
more of it's like Spanish, you know.
Soft.
It's not really Israeli.
Yeah, it's a
but
soft. It's a soft.
It's not
Yeah.
reish.
Ra.
No, it's
But
not resh, it's resh.
It's not. Who said
Yeah.
that, Marcia? It's not the Israeli reish. I don't do it right.
Right. It's, we roll it more.
Rosh.
Little
Rosh.
But you made me
Reish.
feel so
Like
good that I have a
Rivka.
proper
Yeah.
Israeli accent. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
All right. It sounded wonderful.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Here's your homework. I want you to, if you can, get on YouTube, and I want you to listen to that Cantor Rosenfeld singing Shalom Aleichem, and she does the Kiddush. We did that last week. Rozenfeld. She has a beautiful voice. She goes very, very slowly, and she explains the Kiddush when you raise your glass. And I want you to practice the Kiddush. And next week we'll go over the Kiddush and some of the letters. So now I sent
Can
you
I make
4
a
pages. I
suggestion?
sent you
Can I
Shalom
make a
Aleichem.
Can I make a
Yeah.
suggestion, Carol? I love
Yes.
SoundCloud. So if you just Google Ilana Rosenfeld, you'll get, one of the things you'll get is SoundCloud. And that is
What's
the
that?
best. SoundCloud is a place to listen to all sorts. I love music. And you can just
Okay.
get her in SoundCloud. She's got like a space there.
Okay.
It's free.
I'm hearing impaired, so I need you to say that again.
Oh, go
Sound
to,
cloud,
yeah, one word,
Yeah.
SoundCloud.
sound cloud.
Cloud. But if you
Yeah.
just Google Ilana Rosenfeld, I think that's how I would pronounce it. You'll get a few things, and one of them is SoundCloud, and it's just a great place to get music. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's one word, but you'll find it. SoundCloud is a place to go hear music, and if you
Okay,
go
and-
to SoundCloud and you ask for her and spell her name with that Z, you'll get, I mean, I've got her in the background. As soon as this class is over, I'm gonna go, oh, what's she telling us? It's just a really,
Yeah, she's really good.
and it's a
Okay.
Carol,
sound
Carol,
cloud.
She's very clean. Yes.
besides your homework, if you
Yes.
know this, for those who are new, every Tuesday, and I do this for me, although people say, oh, what a mitzvah. Tuesday at 12:30 Eastern Time, I run a practice class on Zoom. So I'll send out the link again. It's the same link every week. And it's been, the best part of it is we get to hang out and get to know each other better. It's been a lot of fun. And we also get to practice our Hebrew together and not just have a week, not practice by ourselves and have a week between classes. And I think it does, I think it helps a lot. It
You
helps
use
me.
this link, this Zoom?
I will send you a link, Marshall. I have your email address. I have everybody's email address. I will send everybody a link. And it's the same thing every week. And we can practice together and then find out, about whatever, but it's been a bonding experience. I do it upon request. I'm doing it at 12:30. Even if you come in for half an hour, 15 minutes, I found it helps me. And that's why I started doing it, so that I could practice with other people, other than my mate Robin, who lives about a mile and a half from me, and we're in the same sisterhood. So it's been very helpful to do that.
And I don't butt in. I'll let you guys have your.
No, I don't even
your own
invite you,
time.
Carol.
I know.
12:30 Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday, and it's a way for us to practice and bond and schmooze and chat. So it's been good. Okay.
Well, here is the homework. Helene, this is the
Writing
assignment.
it down.
I want
Okay.
everybody go over these 3 blessings. Make sure you can do this and practice it tonight. The candles, the wine, and the bread, the challah. Okay, and not just doing it by heart, but actually reading the words. The
Right.
second thing is make sure you can really read Shalom Aleichem. If you listen to Cantor Rosenfield, she's got a gorgeous voice, just like our Hannah, our Helene. Okay, make sure that this is comfortable. You can sing along if you listen to her or any other cantor that you find online, and then you have this nice big print. You can follow along, and then here's what I would do if I were learning, because I'm very compulsive with the learning. I would, any word that I missed, I would circle. And then I would go back and listen to it again. And I would make sure that I saw what was the problem with that word. Was it a letter that I'm messing up? A vowel? Why did I mispronounce that word? And I would find where I need help. Now, if there are certain letters that you find you're having difficulty with, whether it's a Zion and the Gimel or lookalikes, write them down. And I had sent you a link to Berman House. It was like pray, learn or something. And it's very big print, and there's a voice on there. You can go to practice the alphabet. You can isolate the one letter, and it's like Z, Zu, Zez, and in words with a Zion, let's say if that's your problem. So you can isolate the letters that are really giving you the problem, if it's final letter. So that's another very good study help. Okay, what you need to do is find out what is the stumbling block. Where do you have problem? Okay, so we're going to make sure we know Shalom Aleichem. Then the third thing I really want to work on is the Kiddush. And then we'll start listening to the sound. So we'll go over the words with the Kiddush, because that was on page 45, which was about 2/3 of the way into the book when we found the Kiddush, Friday night Kiddush. And then we have had a lot of letters by then. So we're going to go over, we'll start with page 45 next time. And any requests for vocabulary, for letters or vowels. And on the other side is page 50, there's the letter sin. We'll do that like we used to do, a new page. So people who were not here the last session, the letter sin. And then there is that H sound with the dot, just like somebody said for the ch. Okay, because we really need to know words that have the ch. And then the last page I gave was Adon Olam. So let's get some of the basics. So Shalom Aleichem, Adon Olam, that we can really go to services and we can participate with these real big ones, because you need to have those. So having those 4 P, Shalom Aleichem, Kiddush, Adon Olam, those are really big things. And the brachot, okay? And we will learn then the blessing on washing hands, okay, for Friday night. And one of my very favorite prayers of all time, blessing the children on Friday night. And I will send you that. I love that. I think I told you the story once, and I'll make it very quick. I had kids that were separated all over for school and work. And I usually, would put my hand up where they are. So I'll have to go like this. You can see what I did. So I had somebody that was in Virginia. So I put my hand up like this. And I had somebody who was in Texas. So I put my hand down. And somebody that was in Pennsylvania, I put my hand like this. And somebody that was on Long Island. And I go, oh my God, I just made the sign of the cross. My kids were in 4 directions.
Make it a Jewish
After I
star.
did that, I thought, oh, what did I do? It was a Friday night. I bless everybody. What can I tell you? Yeah.
That's funny.
So we're doing
That was very
Kiddush,
funny.
Adon Olam, the Friday night prayers, and Shalom Aleichem. Right? We
Carol,
practice
Yeah,
with those.
right.
Carol,
And then we're gonna use it. We're gonna use that as a basis to keep expanding the Friday night repertoire. Jody?
Yeah,
Jody?
somebody was sharing SoundCloud and I don't recall who. I just pulled it
Mhm.
and I cannot find Ilana Rosenfeld as an option.
no, I
Try
couldn't.
going a different route and just Google Ilana Rosenfeld,
Okay.
Okay,
Use Field
don't do
apparently.
SoundCloud, okay.
FIELZ.
and then it'll take you
Yeah.
to SoundCloud.
Or, I mean, if you're having trouble with that, just go to YouTube, because I heard it beautifully on YouTube. You can do that, or you can do as Sue suggested. Okay,
So
looks like
Carol,
we have some pros here. We have,
No, Alice,
Yes.
but I have a very important question. How do you say go Chiefs in Hebrew?
Go what?
Oh, yay, cheese.
Sorry.
Chiefs.
I have a roast
Okay,
Sunday.
wait.
What's it?
You know what chief
Alice
would
has a
be?
question.
All right. You know the
Alice has a
chief,
question.
the kahuna.
Kahuna, okay.
Lahu kahunim. It's like the Kohen Gadol. The kahuna, the big
Lahu
kahuna. All right.
Kahu-
Lahu kahunim. Yeah.
Wow.
Got it.
Been here saying I
That
thought
would be
was
a
nice.
man. Question, Carol, another thing we need to learn is how to say Kaddish, because
Yeah.
that comes up every.
That's on the agenda.
And
Yeah.
it's
That
always
is
so
definitely
difficult
on
for
the
me.
agenda.
No.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom, Happy
Shalom.
Hanukkah.
Thank you so
We
much.
did the Kaddish. We did
Lahu
Kaddish.
Kahuna.
We're gonna go.
They
We're gonna
Kahuanim.
go
so
again.
fast on Kaddish, and you have to, you
Okay,
must
so
learn,
now,
you know.
when you say, yeah, we did it, we did it last week, but
Oh,
it
I'm
has a lot
sorry.
of long
Yeah, yeah.
words with the cha.
Do
We're
you
gonna
need
do
a
it
Kaddish
again.
today, dear?
Pardon?
Do you need a Kaddish today?
No, but I mean, I haven't, I've said it, but I'm just saying it'd be easy to read, better to read along, because they say it so
Yes.
quickly.
Oh, yes,
Definitely. We did
absolutely.
it-
I
we just
understand.
And I did tell
introduced
you did
it.
it last
I mean,
week.
I'll be doing it, because my mother's is actually going to Minyan, but I know the guys in our synagogue, Rob, in particular the men, they're going 100 miles an hour. It's like,
Yeah.
and the rabbi does it very slowly, and people just, and the thing about prayer is it needs, to me, and that's why I love what Carol does, where she tells us the meaning. It should be intentional, not just a repetition of words.
I make them wait.
I
You
could
know,
say,
Yeah, I
I-
will,
can
I'll
say-
break it apart. I'll take it apart for you, and we'll study it, and when we break it
That's
apart, you'll see
great.
it's not as difficult as it seems. It's in Aramaic.
right.
You know, have Aleph on the end, it's in Aramaic, but we'll do it slowly.
That's
I'll
right.
tell you what the words mean. I'm gonna work on that for next week. Maybe I'll even send you a vocabulary list.
You
That'll
did
be
it-
my homework.
Did you say you did it last week? That's the class I missed.
Yeah,
last
we just
Yeah,
reread it
yeah.
last week.
But we
um,
just did it quickly. That's not learning. That was just
No.
an introduction.
Right.
We
No,
have
they-
vocabulary.
Sometimes people could be
gonna
reciting Jabberwocky.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a
Yeah.
bunch of words that they've memorized and they're doing it really fast, but they don't really understand the intention, which is what I love about this class, is we're learning not just to read the prayers, but what they mean, really what they mean.
I want to, I don't know the lady in the middle, that her name, the young lady.
Not me.
Susan? No?
With the brown hair and that I see in the middle. With the
Julia.
brought up
Jackie,
Marcia.
Jackie.
Marcia Fleming.
That's who's
Marcia.
talking.
Oh,
But
where's
Alice.
Jackie?
Alice? Okay. The thing is, don't let these men fool you. 90% of them don't know the Kiddush or the Kaddish themselves.
Yeah.
no, blah, 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 yeah.
Here, and the only thing that they say is the two words in the middle.
Right.
They're mouthing.
Barich
don't know it
who?
either.
They say Barich who?
That's
Yes.
Oh,
They'll say
Oh,
Shalom
And
at the
remain.
end.
Don't let them
That's
fool
it.
you. And they're just
We'll
standing there,
be-
they're nodding their head, and they're weaving back and forth. They don't know nothing.
We're going to be so proficient in the Kaddish, you'll
Yeah.
be able to lead it. You'll put everybody
Exactly.
on their heads.
I stood there one
I'm
time.
going
my
to give you
husband passed
vocabulary.
2011. And I'm going to tell you something. I got there, I went to a meeting. It was my husband's second yurt site. I went to a meeting and I said, I have to find 10 people. Oops, shoot, that's my son. Sorry, that's my son. I went to a meeting and I said, I need 10 people for a Kaddish. And these guys stood there frozen because they didn't know the Kaddish. I said, that's okay, I'll lead it.
Good for you.
And they said, and I go, yep, come on. And I got them all together. And this was a meeting with non-Jews and everybody. And I got them all after the meeting and I said, and I pulled them over. And I said, I got to say Kaddish. And they're like,
And
I
then
don't know.
what you should have said was, this is girl power speaking.
That's right.
oh,
And
this is a whole conversation about women and prayer, which is
We will have
wonderful.
this on Tuesday.
Wonderful.
I'm gonna collect everybody's email and I'll send you out the
Is
notice.
anybody,
all.
is anybody,
Tuesday at
okay.
12:30 if you'd like to come, and we'll follow Carol's homework instructions.
Svea, do you have the new
All right.
people's emails addresses? Okay, great.
well, aren't they all on that one email from?
Yeah, that one I'll just
They
scrape it
are.
and
Thank
I'll
you,
send it to
Carol.
They
everybody.
are.
Thank you so much.
Thank
This
Okay.
is a lot of
Bye,
fun.
All right,
everybody.
guys.
Good week.
Shalom.
Have a
Bye.
great
Shabbat
Shabbat.
you.
Wish
Everybody
me
have
luck with the
fun.
Hamantashen.
Good luck
Okay.
with the
See you next
Hamantashen.
week. Bye-bye.
Put a lot of butter in it.
Bye-bye, bye-bye.
Carol,
Bye.
Carol,
Bye-bye.
did you enjoy the Yiddish class?
Oh, I did.
Good.
It was the first one.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it gets better because, you know, he does a lot of housekeeping in that one, but
Yeah, did
I'm
you,
enjoying it and I'm picking it up very fast. And I think it's because my parents spoke it. They didn't want us to understand it, but it's
Yeah.
somewhere in my memory. So
did you take the whole? the six
we're
classes?
going to class 5. I'm going to class 5.
So you went to a previous session, right? You're not in this one.
I started it 4 weeks ago, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was the first one for me, though. This was a brand
Yeah.
new one starting that, because it's a good thing that you told me. Yeah,
Yes.
they're very personable and fun, and
it's
a lot of the words I know from being around it when I was
Yes.
younger. So
and you know a lot from Hebrew too, so
yeah, I know
you'll
a
find it
lot.
easy.
Yeah, I was taking notes, like they're not teaching grammar, but you know, I teach grammar in Hebrew and in the languages. So in English, I'm writing down all the question words, like, you know, there and vos, and I'm writing them all down.
I
Like,
remember
how do you
my
say?
mother saying those, yeah. And I'm
Yeah, I
learning.
remember them, but I didn't know which is which.
I went to have, and online I found it conjugated, so I learned the other
Right.
pronouns.
Ichab and, you know, ichab and
Yeah.
hus. But I mean, I only know that from ear. So, but I need to see it down like a paradigm, you know, like written
I
out.
put to have in quotation marks in Yiddish, and I found this website that does that, conjugates the verbs.
I bought a Yiddish dictionary. I got it. I used one online. And they didn't have too many, but I got it's a big fat one. So I have that And I want to look at the words to,
And I have that one, that
Songs.
Idiot's Guide to Speaking Yiddish, and that's good too. You know which one I mean, for dummies, Yiddish, you know.
oh, Yiddish for Dummies. No, I don't have that. I
It's
have the
Yiddish.
dictionary.
I'll send that to the Yiddish Guide for Speaking. Yeah,
The,
the
the-
Idiot's Guide for Speaking Hebrew or something.
the first
I'll take
one,
a picture and send it to you.
all
or I'll
right,
send you the
before, this Miriam Hoffman is the name. There was, the first was Uriel Weinrach, and he wrote the grammar book. But I couldn't find that online, or I found that it was very like rare and it was very expensive. But he wrote a Yiddish grammar book, which I had once and I can't find. I must have given it away. I had it a long time ago, and I looked at my books. I don't have that anymore. But that was so I would like to actually see, you know, like I would like little readings and stuff like that. But I have the dictionary, and I'll use this, and this is good for conversation. But thank you so much.
Well, enjoy, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Have a good one.
Bye.
Hi, Ella.